Hello, Stings. In this video, we will be looking at several examples of some particular kinds of literal equations that we call linear equations, and we will be solving for y for these three examples. So we will call this solving for y. Our first example is 4x plus 2y equals -6. We are looking to isolate the y. So just as in any equation, we can go through our 7 questions. There are no fractions to clear. Both sides are simplified. The variable is only on one side, so we can go straight to the question that asks if there is anything, which is question number 4, is there anything on the same side with our variable? And we have two things. We have this 4x term, and we have the number 2. And so question 5 asks if we can add or subtract to get rid of one of these terms, and we can. We can subtract 4x from both sides. This makes a 0 pair. We end up with 2y equals -4x minus 6. And then can we multiply or divide to get rid of that 2? We indeed can divide everything by 2. This cancels there, leaving y equals. And since we have this fraction with subtraction in the top, we can split this up as 2 fractions, 4x over 2 minus 6 over 2, and then simplify. -4 divided by 2 is -2, minus 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So we have y equals -2x minus 3. In the second example, we have 3x plus 2y minus 6 equals 0. So in this case, again, we are looking to isolate this y. There are no fractions. Both sides have been simplified. The variable y is only on the left-hand side, so we can go straight to what can we do to get rid of all these other terms that are by this y. So we can subtract 3x from both sides. This being a 0 pair, we are left with 2y minus 6 equals -3x. We can add 6 to both sides, this being a 0 pair again, leaving 2y equals -3x plus 6. Now, in the previous example, we divided this whole side by 2 and then saw how we could split that up into 2 fractions. In this case, then, the easiest thing to do is to just go ahead and divide every single term on both sides by that 2, and then simplify. A little bit less work on our part. Here we have -3x over 2. We're going to take the -3 over 2 as a fraction in front, and then leave the x not underneath with the 2, but kind of big right there beside them. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. So here we have the y isolated on one side and all of the other terms on the other side. So those are our first 2 examples. Our third example has a fraction. And that example excuse me, is -4x plus 1/2 y equals -1. So when we are solving equations, and again we are looking to solve for y, so this is the y that we are looking to isolate, we are in this case going to get rid of that 1/2 by multiplying the entire equation by 2. So we're going to multiply everything by 2. 2 times -4x is -8x. 2 times 1/2 y is y. And 2 times -1 is -2. So we have cleared our fraction. We cannot simplify either side. The variable y is just on the left-hand side. There is this negative 8x term on the same side with it, and we can add 8x to make that go away. So we are going to add 8x to both sides. This side, the pair zeroes out, y equals, and we have our 8x minus 2. And since the coefficient of the y term here is 1, there is nothing that we need to add, to multiply or divide to get the y alone. It is already alone, so our equation is complete. Y equals 8x minus 2. This has been solving for y. Thank you for your attention.